You are now listening to WSN, Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now an Odyssey station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
Home of the hottest takes and the best interviews in college radio.
Hold on, wait a minute. We need a little more energy. This is Sports Pack. Yeah, there we go.
Home of the hottest takes and debates.
There is no way I'm going to sit here and roll with Jared Stidham and Aiden O'Connell.
Richard.
There's just no way.
And the best interviews in college radio.
This is five-time Olympic medalist Alana Myers-Taylor.
This is Super Bowl champion quarterback Brad Johnson, and you're listening to Sports Pack on the Wolf Sports Network.
And the Wolves play here.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another Thursday edition of Sports Pack. As always, I'm your host, Richard Reed, joined by Carly Pear, John Howley, and not Jackson Schrader tonight.
Where could he be?
He's off on a sabbatical in Miami. He'll be back next week. But in his seat tonight, we got a bit of a rotating chair here. Starting off with our guy, Michael Miller, tuning in. How you feeling today, Michael?
Doing great. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, man.
Good.
Better now that you're here and now that we're live. Now, we got a jam-packed show.
Yep.
The NFL salary cap had a lot to talk about there. NBA, Four Nations soccer finals, not soccer, Four Nations hockey finals is tonight, A lot of big-time conversations surrounding that, and the NBA All-Star game still. West Georgia Athletics on a roll right now. Got a doubleheader going on in Carrollton right now. Whole lot of sports to get into, whole lot of time to do it. But before we get started, I got to tell you, Starbucks has all the deals this semester, like BOGO on the Penguin Coke and up to 50% off on all Starbucks tumblers and happy hour on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for 50% off all refreshers and cupcakes.
Might they have a happy hour?
Yeah, they have a happy hour.
All right.
From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. You heard it, on Fridays. Make sure you go by there tomorrow.
Love to hear
Also,
it.
did you know college students who binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week are roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or a project as a result of drinking? That is why the Crafty Rabbit Meadery has joined forces with Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign to remind students that drinking should be done responsibly and in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty will not take hangovers as excuses. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide new or gently used books to every child at UWG's pre-K monthly. Give today by visiting wolfradio.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. Visit wolfradio.com/book drive to donate today. Now let's talk some West Georgia sports.
Is Widener rolls to the right. He's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it. And it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
Yes, Lord. And as I mentioned a second ago, we got some games going on right now as we speak in the Coliseum, as we have a big-time basketball doubleheader, starting off with our women's basketball team looking to get their 6th conference win this season as they're taking on the Stetson Hatters, who are currently 14-12 in conference play. This is going to be a really good game. Our Wolves team has been red hot, winning 3 straight games so far, and 2-0 at home in their past 2 games here. So, big-time game here. They're currently leading 16-15 right now. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second quarter. We got a long way to go and a really good game on. Matter of fact, Stetson just hit a 3-pointer. Now they're up 18-16. So real back and forth game in the Coliseum right now. Hopefully we'll pull it out. John, I want to throw it to you first.
Sir.
Me and you have gone to a lot of these games together.
Absolutely, yeah.
What are you looking for from this women's team tonight for them to get the big dub today?
What I'm looking for tonight is for us to get going on our rebounds. Right now we're getting beat on offensive rebounds 8-1. And now defensive rebounds 11-9. I ain't worried about that. If you got Nari Holiday in there, man, we're good. All right, but just seems like we need to work on some just simple things. I'm actually a little surprised with these stats that I'm seeing here live that we're winning 18-15 right now on my screen. So other than that, let's just work on some rebounds. Simple as that.
Carly?
Yeah, I really hope this women's team can pull this out tonight. I think they really need a good win, and I think it would also be really good motivation for this men's team that's playing at 7:45 right after them tonight. If we could get both teams in the house tonight to win both of these games, it'd be electric.
Yeah, I think I want to see them be able to close the game out.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like
big.
every time we go to a game, I feel like we're up at half and we're playing good basketball in the first half, and then the second half we just aren't able to close the door. So that's like to see tonight.
Yeah, good point.
No, that's a very good point. We struggle with that a lot throughout the season, but as I said a minute ago, the past 3 games they've been able to stay strong, get some big wins, being 3-0 in their last 3 games right now. They've been looking pretty good, but you're right. This is a team that has been very competitive in all their games, but tends to leave the door open at the end, which, what did Schrader say? Taking defeat out of the hands of victory, something like that. This is a team that's lost a bunch of games at the very end. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
We need to start knocking down threes as well.
Yeah,
We're 0 for 9.
Start knocking down. 0 for 9 from 3 right now? How about we just stop shooting the threes? How about that? get in the mid-range, get in the paint, get the buckets where you can get them. If you're 0 for 9 from 3, stop shooting the
Stetson
3.
isn't prettier with 1 and 5. So
yeah, both teams need to stop. But the main thing with this West Georgia women's team is limit the turnovers. But like you said, Carly, we have another game tipping off at 7:45. If you have nothing to do tonight, you might be busy right now. But if you're free around 7:45, come to the Coliseum as our men's team is looking to get their 4th conference win. This is a big time game for them right here because the bottom two teams in the conference do not make the conference tournament. And as of right now, they're second to last in the conference. But the team right above them is the team they're taking on tonight, the Central Arkansas Bears, who are 3-12 in conference play as well. So if our Wolves can win this game tonight, they will now be third to last in the conference, which would put them in contention to be in the conference tournament.
Yeah.
No, they're definitely not in the driver's seat.
No, the driver's seat just
no,
to make the conference tournament.
They as far back as they can be in that whip. But being third to last would give them the last seed in the conference tournament, and then they would be in contention to play in the tournament.
I was trying to say the driver's seat to be in the ASUN tournament. Simple
yeah, but they ain't driving that bus.
No, we're not driving that
in the
bus.
driver's seat.
We got a long way before we drive the bus.
ESPN's giving them a 70% chance to win this game tonight. I'm really hoping they pull it off. I know a lot of the players have known it's been a down season, but they're really putting all their stock into making this conference tournament, because who knows, once they get in there, they might get their foot in the door and kick the door down, might mess around and win this conference tournament, and that right there would be incredible.
I would say, if we could somehow do something like that, basically, we right now we need to win out the last 3 games of the season here at home, and that would really help us to make the ASUN tournament. But when it comes to ASUN tournament time, I will just cross that bridge when we get to it.
Right. It's going to take some time. This game tonight is big. Got to win this game against Central Arkansas to get that 3 seed, not the 3 seed, to be third to last in conference play.
10th seed, I think it would be.
Yeah, something like that. You got to beat Central Arkansas, and then like you said, 2 more home conference games as well. One at home versus Queens University, and then the last one against the Austin P Governors next Wednesday, the 26th. But basketball team isn't the only team playing this weekend. Carly, Can you walk us through the baseball team schedule this weekend?
Yes, for sure. So this weekend we have a baseball series here in Carrollton against Ohio University. Really excited to see how this is going to work out, especially after last weekend, their dominant performances. I'm really excited to see this baseball team continue to play.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. I know they really had a great home series debut last weekend against, who was the University of New Orleans?
Yes.
Won the first game 18-1, won the second game 11-10, lost the third game 13-6, fourth game got canceled because of the weather. But they started off really, really strong. I'm very excited. Got some action coming to Carrollton. That's going to be really exciting. See the Ohio Bobcats. That'll be a really good test for our guys. I'm really excited, man. I know, Philip, you played some high school baseball. What are some things you're looking to see from this West Georgia team that can get them going here?
I'm excited to watch them. I'm going to be there on Saturday, so I'm excited to get to watch them up close. I think one thing that I noticed into these first couple games, I got to watch a little bit of the second game. Offense looks really good.
Yes,
so
it
far.
really does.
I'm liking the bats, 18 runs, 11 runs, even 6 runs and a loss. I like that. Pitching-wise, I think would be something I do want to see kind of improve. I know playing Ohio's probably got a pretty good offense though, so
yeah, I'm sure.
But that would be something I want to see this weekend. It's just more consistency in the starters and the bullpen this weekend.
Yeah,
real quick, John.
Yes.
Michael, I'm sorry I called you Philip, but Philip is just sitting here staring into my soul. So I saw Philip look at you and said his name. Philip will be on the show later. If y'all are wondering why he's just sitting in the corner like that, he'll be on soon. But sorry about that, Michael. Go ahead, John.
No, we have the same 3 starting pitchers for these 3 games, and I'm really excited for the first game for Lane Parsons. Last week was his debut. He absolutely shoved out there. So, hopefully another shove day, and we just keep things going. And like you're saying, the bat's actually looking really good. I like the lineup we have. Also bringing Noah Darden over from North Georgia, something I don't know if we really talked about last week, but he was on that North Georgia team, was one of the best teams in Division II last year,
right.
And he's got a really good swing from what I saw. So just shout out to him as well. Really liked what I saw from it, and let's just keep the bats going.
There's a lot of potential on this team. I'm very excited to follow them throughout the rest of the season. Now, before we move on, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that our women's softball team, who also started off the season red hot as well, will be in North Carolina, in the heart of Tar Heel Nation in Chapel Hill. They have 4 games this weekend. Their first one is Friday the 21st against Maryland at 1:45 p.m. Second, the same day at 6 p.m. against Georgetown. And then one game on Saturday against Wagner at 1:30. Then a game on Sunday at 9 a.m. against Wagner. So, if you're in the Chapel Hill area for some reason this weekend, be sure to go to one of those games.
I don't know what schedule you're looking at, but we start with Wagner, then Maryland, then Georgetown, then Wagner.
I mean, it's the same thing. I guess mine just hasn't refreshed. Originally, they were supposed to play Maryland that Friday. See, I ain't even sit here acting like I'm crazy now. They were originally supposed to start with Maryland, so they must have shuffled
did change the weekend schedule.
Okay, so it's simple as that.
So now they start with Wagner, then Maryland, Georgetown, Wagner.
Yes, sir.
Same teams, different order. Either way, all 4 of them teams getting beat. Dubs. Look, either way, all 4 of them teams getting beat this weekend. No matter which order they want, they whooping. They gonna get it regardless. Now, stay tuned because when we get back, we're gonna dive into some NBA and talk about that crazy college basketball game we watched last night when Missouri took down the Alabama Crimson Tide. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
You are listening to Sports Pack here on Wolf Sports Network, your home for all things UWG athletics.
Hey, do you want to be a part of Wolf Sports Network? Yeah! Well, I have some good news for you because you can join us. Woohoo! So if you want to learn more about this, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click WIT Sports Program. With becoming a WIT, you expand your knowledge in the sports radio world and join our ever-growing family.
New face over there, you're not tripping. We got my guy JT over here shadowing the board. He's running through a WIT program right now. Oh. Brandon, how you feeling, baby? Welcome to Sports Pack.
I'm feeling great being on here for the first time.
And we can't wait to meet you once you join us.
It's a tale as old as time. All good things must come to an end. But this final ride is going to be legendary.
Oh, yeah.
More legendary than this.
Is this the dagger?
And this.
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown!
So be sure to listen to Triple Threat every Friday starting at 11. Only on Wolf Sports Network.
It's time to introduce Wolf Sports Network's newest show, The Playbook. Your home for college football, baseball, and basketball. And just like VCU in 2011, we're set to make a Cinderella run to the top of a Wolf Sports Network.
The Rams are going to the Final Four!
Tune in live every Tuesday from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network.
Wolf Sports Network is going to have you covered with content for every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Sports Pack is bringing you all the news in the sports world today on Mondays and Thursdays at 6. Sports Out of Pocket is bringing you sports commentary with a comedic twist on Wednesdays at 5. And sit back and relax and grab your favorite snack because Triple Threat is bringing you the chill content on Fridays at 11. And we have a brand new show coming to Wolf Sports Network, The Playbook, where they talk about everything going on in the college sports world on Tuesdays at 6. So make sure you're tuning in Monday through Friday for all the content Wolf Sports Network is bringing you this semester.
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We are collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting wolfradio.com/bookdrive. That is wolfradio.com/bookdrive.
Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Baby, let's talk some NBA. We had a very interesting NBA game last night as the 14-39 Charlotte Hornets went on the road to beautiful Los Angeles, California. It's cooled down a little bit out there to take on the 32-21 LA Lakers in the first game after All-Star break. Let me tell you something, man. A lot of people have been talking about this Lakers team. A lot of people have penciled them in as a finals contender, so they're going to represent the West. Now they've added Luka Doncic to pair up with LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and the rest of those guys. But they came up short last night, losing 100-97 to the Charlotte Hornets. Behind 29 points from Miles Bridges, 27 points from LaMelo Ball, the Hornets were able to get away with the win after LeBron James missed the game-tying three-pointer. And that had a lot of people wondering, like, all right, I mean, LeBron's great, but he's never been that guy you want taking the last shot at the end of the game. That may be a little controversial, but Ray Allen hit the shot at the end of the game I said it. Ray Allen hit that game when he played for the Heat. Kyrie Irving hit that game-winning shot against the Warriors. I mean, look, LeBron's no Michael Jordan. Why is he taking the game-winning shot in this situation here?
Don't.
But
he said, don't take it.
They're saying, why was LeBron taking that shot? He's never really been that guy. He's not Michael Jordan. You don't want the ball in his hands at the end of the game. Why not let Luka take that shot? But Luka Doncic hasn't been doing too well either. Shooting only 30% so far in his games with the Lakers. Lim, I want to start with you. By the way, this isn't Carly. This is Lim. If you couldn't tell the difference, we don't see color here either. So sometimes I get a little confused. But this is my guy Lim. I can tell who he is. So Lim, what are your thoughts on this Lakers team so far, based off what we've seen after the Luka trade? Are you still believing in this Lakers team?
Oh, absolutely. You got to give it time. You know, Luka just came to the Lakers, so you got to give it time. And on top of that, any team can be beaten in the NBA, whether you're bottom of the conference, top of the conference. I mean, it's a long season, so sometimes teams get fatigued during a certain period in the season. So anything can happen. Shout out to the Hornets that they got to win versus the Lakers, and I think again the Lakers are still fresh out of the trade. So I still think they have some time to turn things around. Not really turn things around, but to make strides. So. They lost, but I don't think this really affects them. I think they're going to learn from this moving forward. So yeah.
You think it'd be because of the your return from the All-Star break? You're kind of getting back playing, and just Charlotte got the better game last night.
I mean, yeah, it could definitely be that too. Again, I still think the Lakers they still have some work to do with Luka coming on their team. You got a new addition. You got obviously other new pieces too. So. I think it just takes some time.
Now, real quick, two quick things. One, I was just joking about LeBron James. He's a great player. He's like 58 years old, and last night he dropped 26 points, 11 rebounds,
paired with
7 assists. Look, LeBron James a dog. Is he my GOAT? Is he my GOAT? No. But he's a dog nonetheless. But let me read some numbers to you real quick, Philip.
Oh.
Luka Doncic last night, 5 for 18 shooting, 1 for 9 from 3.
Oh, sounded like me in middle school.
What are we seeing right here? What is going on with Luka? Because this is not his first bad game with the Lakers. He hasn't been balling since being sent to this team. He was already banged up and struggling a little bit when he was in Dallas, but now he's like a shell of his former self. What do you think is the problem here?
I mean, I think it's a combination of coming from Dallas. I mean, you're going to a new team, and then also coming off injury. He hadn't played in I don't know how long, a couple months at least.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, he was injured. All of a sudden, his bones mended because he could play with Bron.
The healing powers of LeBron.
Oh yeah, and I mean, moving not cross country, but pretty far. All that stuff. I mean, it's all going to take a toll. He's got to learn chemistry and not airball floaters and the normal.
Well, I think because you go from a team that you're basically he ran the Mavericks almost, and then you go from a team where you got all these other superstars around you, and you said chemistry, you got to work with that build up with the team. So maybe come a little bit closer to playoffs, the team could look a lot better from what we're seeing right now. So.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot better.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, I don't know. I'm still a little mixed on it. I said immediately that the Dallas Mavericks won the trade, and I said in the long run, the LA Lakers did. I think the Mavericks, with the team they have now, an older Kyrie Irving, but still nonetheless probably the best point guard of the NBA, Kyrie Irving, and then Anthony Davis, when healthy, is one of the best defending big mans in the league. I think that team has a very high ceiling this season so far. When I look at Luka, like you said, Philip, he was already very banged up. And even before he got hurt, when he was playing with the Mavericks, people were saying he was out of shape. He didn't look like he was all there already. And now he's come back from long injury, even longer All-Star break, really trying to get his feet back under him on a new team as well. I'm not surprised at all. I expected him to struggle a little bit early on. Luka will eventually get his legs back under him, get back in solid shape, and he'll end up being the Luka that we've known and loved for the past few years. It's just going to take time.
Yeah.
It's just going to take more time than a lot of people have expected. And while we're talking about a lot of time, Victor Wembanyama is about to miss a lot of time. Last year's number 1 overall pick's been having a great year for the San Antonio Spurs. Just went real hard in the paint in the All-Star weekend this weekend. He was one of the only players out there giving effort. He is expected to miss the rest of a season with a blood clot in his shoulder. It sounds pretty bad right now. Things were just starting to look up for the Spurs. They just added De'Aaron Fox. Stephon Castle's probably the favorite to win Rookie of the Year right now. Last year on Chris Paul's deal, like they weren't in They aren't like in the thick of the Western Conference race, but they've been getting better and better week after week. People like me were really expecting to make a big time push after All-Star break. They're currently 23 and 29, excuse me. Only a few games behind the Phoenix Sun. They were fighting for a play-in spot right now, but without Wemby, man, it's looking like the Spurs season may be over. Lim, what are your initial thoughts on this injury?
I mean, it's sad to see that happen to Victor. I mean, second year in the league, going to the All-Star game, and now this happens, and you get De'Aaron Fox. I mean, I hope Wemby gets better. I really, when NBA players get hurt, I just feel for them, and I hope they get better. But with the Spurs, I'm gonna go on a limb and say I think they still have playoff hopes. I think they can still make the playoffs. They got De'Aaron Fox. I think they still have a good system over there.
You think they make the play-in tournament or actually make the playoffs?
Either or.
Wow.
They could be higher than the play-in seedings, or they could be in that play-in seeding. So I still think they can make the playoffs, but I hope Victor gets better from this, man, for real.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That sounds like one of those injuries that can really linger throughout a career. I would hate to see his career be one of those what-if careers. Like, what if he didn't get hurt?
Right.
What could Wemby have been? I would hate
not
to
a
see
D-Rose
that.
what if?
Yeah, dude, that'd be terrible to see, man.
Let's not have that happen.
They're optimistic he'll be back by next year. They already came out and said that. So
Right.
Yeah, he should.
I think he'll be fine.
Okay.
He should be good.
Yeah, it's just having a season-ending injury this early in your
it
career.
sucks.
It's devastating.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But like we were just saying earlier, Wemby works hard no matter what, gives 100% each and every single night, gave 100% during the All-Star weekend. He did a full warm-up as if he was playing an NBA game for the All-Star game. I know it sounds like a regular thing people should do, but a lot of NBA players don't do that. Wemby takes his basketball stuff very seriously, as he should, because he's getting paid the big bucks to play this game.
Yes.
So I hate to see this happen to a guy like him, but we'll see how it goes, man. Only time will tell. But let's move into some college hoops. Let's talk some college hoops. Yep. We had a big game last night in the college basketball world as the number 4 team in the nation, the Alabama Crimson Tide, took a trip on over to Columbia, Missouri to take on the red-hot 20-6 Missouri Tigers. And, man, let me tell you something. I think Missouri put the nation on notice last night. A lot of people that have really been paying attention this year have noticed that Missouri's balling out there, but they hadn't really gained a lot of teams' respect. They beat Florida by 1 point. They had a lot of big-time wins throughout their season, but last night they put the nation on notice, shooting 60% from the field and taking down the Alabama Crimson Tide 110-98. Look, if you would have told me about this game and said Alabama scored 98 points, I would have said, okay, Alabama probably won 98-77, sent Missouri packing.
Yep.
But no, the Missouri Tigers were ready to play, and play they did. This is a team that last year went 0-18 in SEC conference play. They have completely turned it around. They're sitting at 20-6, are probably going to crack the top 10 after beating this Alabama team. This Missouri Tigers team is legit, Lim. What do you think about that?
Man, look, I don't know what their recruiting staff is doing over there and who they went and got in transfer portal, but Missouri doing a good job this season. Oh, I seen they got Mark Mitchell from Duke.
Mitchell dropped 31 last night.
30 piece. So shout out to Missouri. You know that like and Richard, you mentioned this obviously multiple times, but the SEC is one of the best conferences, if not the best conference in basketball.
No doubt.
And I said the SEC and the Big 12, I think they're leveled, but this season the SEC has proved to be the best conference in basketball. And even though Alabama fell short, Mark Seals had 35 points. That's one of my favorite college basketball players.
That bag.
Still dropped it, but Missouri came out last night and played with heart. Mark Mitchell was dominating him down low, and they didn't have an answer for him. So shout out to Missouri for getting that one. SEC basketball is serious this season, man. For real.
Yeah, SEC basketball is legit. But now looking at this game, there's two angles about it. Missouri, obviously they're great. We talk about Mark Mitchell having 31 points. Caleb Grill had 25 off the bench. When we look at this Alabama team, they had a vintage Alabama performance. They dropped 98 points. Yeah. Marcus Sears had 35, 38 points. He balled out. He's been having a great season. But they've lost 5 games. And on average, they have lost those 5 games by allowing over 90 points. So when I look at this Alabama team, the one thing I'm looking at is their defense. Do they have what it takes defensively to make a deep run? Because their offense can get hot at any time. The problem is they aren't getting the stops. We saw it a couple days ago against Auburn. Carly's Auburn Tigers. I know she's in there grinning right now, sitting in the same corner Phillip was just cooking it up in. So when we're sitting here looking at this team, it's like they can score with anybody.
Yeah.
But if they go cold for a second, do they have it in them to get the stops? Philip, do you think this is a team that can get the crucial stop when need be in, say, an Elite Eight game?
I don't know. I think one of their issues with allowing so many points is their turnover issues.
Right.
Like especially against Auburn, you could notice it.
Yeah, there were a lot of turnovers against Auburn.
I mean, if you watch just 5 minutes of that game, my goodness, they made some Trae Young-esque passes out there.
Yeah,
and from a true Trae Young fan.
Yeah, and the thing about that Auburn game, like, this is the thing about Auburn. If you make careless mistakes, they're gonna capitalize.
Oh
off
yeah,
it. They're
every
gonna,
time.
Like you have to come in playing Auburn with your A game, like every game. Because Auburn has too many offensive weapons. They play defense. They have good chemistry. So every time you play Auburn, you have to be ready.
I mean, last night Missouri looked like Auburn though, so I guess it was kind of the same situation.
And to your point, Philip, last night Missouri forced 14 turnovers against Alabama, and I'm sure they converted. They translated points off of a lot of those turnovers. That right there is huge for Alabama.
Yeah,
exactly.
They get really sloppy. Go.
Well, no. So what I'm looking at, you're talking about turnovers. Alabama so far this season has 343 turnovers, and you look at Missouri, 272. It's like 70 around 70 difference.
Yep.
That's where it kills you there. It's the same thing here at West Georgia. We have a turnover problem.
Right.
But the thing is, the other teams are captivating off it, and this is what's leading to their losses. Capitalizing. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're good.
But still, I mean, that turnovers is such a huge thing, and looking to see just a difference right there, and about a 70 turnover difference right there really makes a difference in a team. So
now, before we move on, exactly, that has to be cleaned up right before the tournament. Only have like a little less than 3 weeks left for Selection Sunday. This is going to come up big later on. Now, since we're getting towards the end of the season here, I want to give a quick preview for Missouri before we move out of here. They only have 5 SEC games left before the SEC tournament. At Arkansas versus South Carolina, at Vanderbilt, at Oklahoma, and their last game against a very, very, very talented Kentucky team. Outside of that Kentucky team, a lot of those games are very winnable. The Kentucky game is also winnable. It's just going to be a lot more tricky than the other ones. Missouri has a chance here to really finish in good standing, and they really have a shot at wrapping up the 2 or 3 seed in the SEC tournament coming up. There are a lot of good teams ahead of them. As I said, they already beat Alabama, so they should vault up. But they still have A&M and Florida ahead of them. I'm pretty much giving Auburn that 1 seed, unless they slip up somewhere along the line where I don't see them doing. But Missouri really has a chance here to lock up one of those top seeds in the SEC, and having a top seed in this SEC tournament will really help them out. Because if they perform well in that, they will have pretty good seeding in the March Madness tournament as well. But I do want to pivot. There's another game being played tonight. The number 20 team in the country, the Maryland Terrapins, is a team a lot of people have not really been paying much attention to. They're 20-6 overall, 10-5 in conference play. And tonight they have a home game in College Park, Maryland against the USC Trojans. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Maryland. This is one of those teams that can straight up score, averaging 83 points per game, shooting on average 48% from the field, 15 assists per game, all that kind of stuff. This is a team that can flat out ball, man. And when you look at their last 5 games, they beat Iowa 101-75. They beat Nebraska, beat Rutgers, beat Wisconsin, a team that's surging at the right time. This Maryland team is very dangerous. And looking at the Big Ten picture overall, a lot of people may not be looking at the Big Ten, but I think you should, because there are a lot of very talented teams in the Big Ten. You still have Purdue. Even though Zach Edey isn't there, they're still balling. You have Maryland creeping around in the back. You also have Michigan State and Michigan, who just so happen to face off tomorrow night at 8 p.m. That's going to be a big game to keep your eye on. So when you're looking at the overall picture, do not forget about the Big Ten, because they have a lot of very, very, very good teams creeping up out there. So that's my conference to watch. But I want to open the floor to you all. Are there any conferences you've been watching throughout this college basketball season that really stand out to you as a conference that could have a representative in maybe the Elite 8 or Final 4?
Well,
you go.
I was going to say, first off, looking at the Big Ten, I just want to say they're making me mad. I really wanted Rutgers to perform well, because it's so much fun to watch Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, but they decided to get nobody around them, so that's not fun.
Yeah, those guys are going to go super high in the draft. They're good.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the only, I think the ACC, just because Duke. I mean, it's just Duke.
Yeah. Duke is good.
If you go to, like, I look at recruiting classes a lot. If you go to Duke's recruiting class, I don't even know how to describe what they did last year. It was ridiculous.
It's incredible.
It's like they got the entire Montverde squad and just turned it into their team, and then just pulled some dude from third world countries that's 7'7".
Yeah, you're not lying.
they just figure it out. I don't understand. It's ridiculous.
If you want to build a good college basketball team the old-fashioned way through high school recruiting, like you said, Philip, look at what Duke did last year.
I know, it's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
The conference I have this year, again, I said the Big 12, and the Big East. Big 12, Big East, SEC, and I give the Big 10 some recognition, but like the Big 12, I mean, they, like I said, they just, I don't know, it's something about the Big 12. They just play hard every night.
The Big 12 is great every single year.
Yeah, they play hard every night. I think
Houston's got a real team.
Yeah, I think TCU beat Texas Tech the other night, and TCU's not ranked. Texas Tech is ranked in ninth
Texas
in the
Tech
nation.
is really good.
So
Texas Tech plays Houston this weekend, don't they?
They probably do.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah,
that's gonna be another big time game to watch.
Yeah, so those are my four conferences I'm looking for.
No, not this weekend. It's next weekend.
It's they play Iowa State, then Texas Tech.
Oh my gosh, Houston does play Iowa State. Houston has a tough 2 games right now.
Yeah, the Big 12 is definitely up there. SEC, Big 10, Big East. I got some teams out of those conferences. They can make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. So yeah,
now I hate to put you on the spot here, Lim, but I'm just kind of wondering if you had to pick one team from the Big 12 to make the Final Four. What team would you?
One
pick
team from the Big 12
to make the Final Four, if any.
Any.
What team would you pick
from the Big 12 right now?
In my eyes, it's hard not to lean Houston.
I can't even make a prediction for that. I can't even make a prediction for that right now.
Yeah, in my eyes, I hate to go with Houston because they're the 1 seed in the conference right now. But it's hard not to go with them with all that experience. They seem like they're right in the thick of it every single year because they are. They're very experienced, very talented. But if not Houston, man, I'm leaning Texas Tech. Something about them Red Raiders just calling my name. I've had the opportunity to watch a lot of their games. It's hard to watch every game because of the way college basketball is, but I'm really liking Texas Tech. They got some guys out there that can step up and score with just about anybody. So if not Houston in the Big 12, as of right now, I'm really looking for Texas Tech to make some kind of run here. But we got a lot of time for the tournament. Still got conference tournaments, and obviously our opinions are going to change. Like they're going to flow like water, man. We're going to be coming up here every single week with different opinions on these teams because that's how college basketball is. Now at the end of the day, we're all somehow going to be wrong once the tournament is all said and done.
You're not wrong.
Unless you pick UConn the past 2 years, you're going to be wrong.
Yeah.
But moving forward, before we take this next break, let me remind you once again, Dine West is committed to offering a diverse menu that accommodates a wide range of dietary preferences, including vegan, gluten-free, and multicultural options. Their menu changes daily, and you can view their weekly options for both East and West Commons dining halls at westga.edu/dinewest. That is westga.edu/dinewest. College students that binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week. In a recent survey, almost 53% of full-time college students ages 18 to 22 drank alcohol in the past month. That is why the Crafty Rabbit Meadery has joined forces with Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign, reminding you there is no drinking under the age of 21. To never drink and drive.
Don't do it.
Even if it was only 1 beer. And to add food and water when you drink so you don't end up texting your ex.
Don't do it.
Maybe swing by Dine West with something on your stomach because, look, Lim, I'm pretty sure you know just like I do, man.
Come on, man.
Not much good comes from texting
Don't call
your
him
ex.
out.
I mean, look, I've been with him at a few conversations.
Don't call him out.
I know if anybody at this table might relate, it's going to be him. But anyway, know your limits. Faculty will not take hangovers as excuses. Now, stay tuned because when we get back, we're going to dive into this NFL free agency talk. It's expanded the salary cap, and we got a whole bunch of sports news to get into to end off the show. Stay tuned. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
You are listening to Sports Pack every Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7, only on Wolf Sports Network. Hey, do you want to be a part of Wolf Sports Network?
Yeah!
Well, I have some good news for you because you can join us.
Woohoo!
So if you want to learn more about this, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click WIT Sports Program. With becoming a WIT, you expand your knowledge in the sports radio world and join our ever-growing family.
New face over there, you're not tripping. We got my guy JT over here shadowing the board. He's running through a WIT program right now. Brandon, how you feeling, baby? Welcome to Sports
I'm feeling
Pack.
great being on here for the first time.
And we can't wait to meet you once you join us.
It's a brand new season, and you know what that means. A brand new series.
Kool-Aid Jackson Cook.
Mark my words, by the end of his career, Nolan Arenado will be better than Chipper Jones.
Jackson Cook.
New short series, exclusively on Wolf Sports Network YouTube.
Kool-Aid Jackson Cook.
Make sure to like and follow on all socials for more content.
Sports fans, are you looking for a show where you can see other sports fans sharing in your misery and excitement? Then Sports Out of Pocket is for you, because we're fans too, and we experience our highs.
Bertigine is not a safety. He's just a corner who will lock down your number one.
And our lows.
Trayshawn Ward. Screw you, buddy. You were on our team last year, and you gave us no mercy, okay?
So join us every Wednesday at 5 to cheer and boo along with us, only on Wolf Sports Network. Wolf Sports Network is going to have you covered with content for every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Sports Pack is bringing you all the news in the sports world today on Mondays and Thursdays at 6. Sports Out of Pocket is bringing you sports commentary with a comedic twist on Wednesdays at 5. And sit back and relax and grab your favorite snack, because Triple Threat is bringing you the chill content on Fridays at 11. And we have a brand new show coming to Wolf Sports Network, The Playbook, where they talk about everything going on in the college sports world on Tuesdays at 6. So make sure you're tuning in Monday through Friday for all the content Wolf Sports Network is bringing you this semester.
Every Wednesday is Fried Chicken Wednesday at West Commons Dining Hall. Faculty and staff can now get their own meal plans by visiting westga.edu/dinewest. That is westga.edu/dinewest. Updates are available at UWG_Dine_West on Instagram. That is UWG_Dine_West on Instagram. Now let's talk some NFL. In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty. Man. We don't get to talk about the NFL as much as I would like, because it is the offseason. I got to respect it. But we still got big-time NFL news.
Okay, hold the phone. We still talk about it every single show.
But here's the thing, though, Carly. You know.
It gets 10 minutes like every other segment
If I had it my
does.
way, we talk about NFL and college football for 30 minutes of the show year-round.
Okay, well then make a football show.
Oh, I will.
Hey,
Stay tuned for that.
hey,
Don't tip me
now,
now.
calm down.
I'll leave y'all right here.
Calm
I will
down now.
stand on Sports Pack, not Football Pack. And I have before.
And I didn't say it was football pack.
Okay.
I said we're not talking about football as much because of the offseason.
Slow your roll. Come on now.
Okay.
But there are still some things to talk about. And you see, you're still in the spotlight because my dog Keyshawn is making his on-air debut right now, and he's itching to say something. Go ahead and say what's up to the people,
Definitely.
Keyshawn.
What's up, y'all? Keyshawn, favorite wit.
Good to have you on here. Good to have you on here. Like
Thanks
you
for
said,
having me.
one of the best wits in the business. Now, look, we got a whole lot to talk about. As of right now, the NFL salary cap is being expanded, giving each NFL team about $20 more million to play with here. A lot of teams are still in some salary cap trouble, like the New Orleans Saints, for example. The Falcons are trying to wiggle their way out of it. But that's not the only thing we're talking about right now. Man, I just thought about the Patriots. Got a whole lot of money to play with. They're going to be a fun team to watch this offseason.
Wow.
But there are a lot of big names that are going to be free agents so far when the new league year starts. The first player I want to highlight is Bengals star wide receiver T. Higgins. Now, he gets overshined a lot because of Jamar Chase, but for good reason. Jamar Chase is arguably the greatest wide receiver in the NFL right now. Won the Triple Crown this past year, had a fantastic season for the Bengals. Too bad they didn't have a defense. But T. Higgins is a phenomenal wide receiver. And all around, people are looking at him as a guy that can be a wide receiver one no matter where he is, except Cincinnati. So, Keyshawn, I want to start with you, man. When looking at T. Higgins this offseason, what do you think is the most likely scenario for him? What team do you think he'll end up on? Will he stay in Cincinnati, or is he going to make a move somewhere else?
I think he'll stay. I think he'll get franchise tag. That's the latest rumor I've seen. But, like, other than that, I've seen the Patriots.
They got a lot of money to play with.
Yeah.
They give a nice contract.
The Jets, because Adams is probably out the door.
Yep.
Who else? Mainly them two.
I've also seen something about the Chargers as well.
Yeah.
The Chargers also need a big-time wide receiver. I like what you said there, because I think you're right. I think he most likely will stick with Cincinnati. I think they really want to keep that band together, try to make a push with those guys. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's say for some reason things don't work out in Cincinnati. They either franchise tag him or trade him, or he makes a move as a free agent. I think the best landing spot for T. Higgins will be with the Washington Commanders. If you add him to that offense, already very potent offense led by Terry McLaurin. But his wide receiver, too, was De'Ami Brown. So if you go, make De'Ami Brown a wide receiver 3 here, pair Terry McLaurin up with T. Higgins, with Jaden Daniels, draft a running back in the offseason. They still got their draft picks because he's a free agent. So draft a running back in the first, second round. This is an extremely running back rich class. Still go out there and get your edge rusher. I think this is a Washington Commanders team that with T. Higgins and a few nice additions in the draft could go from Super Bowl contender to one of the favorites to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, actually, I really like that because I'm looking at cap space here. Commanders have $82 million in cap space.
They got a lot of money to play with.
You can go get a really good contract. Keep in mind, you're going to have a lethal quarterback with you, so you know you're going to get the ball. And, yeah, I don't know. You're not playing devil advocate. It's making it sound actually like a really good scenario for him. Plus, you're on the winning team. And like you're saying, you go to the draft, you can still get the guys you need that are young. Yeah, you're building a super squad almost. They're just going to be a young super squad.
Washington would be one of arguably the team to fear, right up there next to their division rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles, in the NFC.
Shaking in their boots.
I really want to see that.
The only thing is, the other day, I read a report on my phone from CBS saying that the Bengals plan on keeping Trey Hendrickson, like the trio between Trey Hendrickson, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase, because Joe Burrow has made it clear that he will restructure his contract to keep T. Higgins.
They want to win.
And that's a huge thing, first off, for Joe Burrow, for how great of a quarterback he is, and says, you know what, I will go change my contract just so we can pay this guy to keep him around. Huge on Joe Burrow right there. But I'd be very surprised if they do all that to keep everything right now.
I mean, he has the right approach for sure. It's in Cincinnati's best interest to keep that core together.
For sure.
But if T. Higgins is making a move, I think Washington's the perfect spot for him.
I like that.
Now, let's get into the quarterbacks here. There are a lot of teams that either have some quarterback decisions. Well, there's a lot of teams with big-time quarterback decisions to make. You got the Steelers. Do they go with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields? Do they go draft a guy? The Giants, the Raiders, the Vikings. All these teams have big-time quarterback decisions to make, and there's a lot of names in the pot. As I've already mentioned, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. You have Sam Darnold, who had a really good career resurgence this year with the Vikings. But J.J. McCarthy's also still on the Vikings roster as well. Got draft-eligible quarterbacks like Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. So when we're looking at this big quarterback landscape, let's start with the Giants here, Carly. What do you think would be the best move for the Giants to make to fix their quarterback issues? They got a lot of other issues. But to fix their quarterback position, what do the Giants need to do?
Yeah, the Giants have struggled since, I grew up. When I was in elementary school, I had a good guy friend, and he was a big Giants fan, and we would always mess around. Like, the Giants have always been so bad. So
he's been miserable since elementary school.
Yeah, for sure. But I honestly think the Giants could benefit a lot from getting Sam Darnold. With his resurgence with the Vikings, honestly, the Giants can only go up, let's be honest. And I think Sam Darnold would be a good option. And I also don't think he would have too big of a contract. He's not like...
Well, but after that season, it makes a case arguable for him to go there and try to say, hey, you know what? I did this. We can do this. You got to pay me that money, though.
Fair.
Could pull a Kirk Cousins contract almost, you could say.
I'd say Baker contract. 3-year $100 million.
Yeah, Baker. Yeah, I like that.
Baker Mayfield style contract would be better.
I think that's what he would deserve right now after that resurgence. But still, he's going to want his money. So
totally fair.
He's definitely going to want his money, but that just brings up this argument. So when it comes down to Sam Darnold, this is a guy that led the Vikings to a 14-2 season. They were
14-3.
14-3-ish
still
season.
Very good.
Yeah. They got stomped out in the playoffs early on, but they still made it nonetheless. So when you're looking at this Vikings team, they have a tough decision to make as well, because they drafted J.J. McCarthy in the first round of last year's draft, but now Sam Darnold, who was supposed to be their backup or at least bridge quarterback this year, when J.J. McCarthy went down, he stepped in and led him to a 14-win season.
Became the superstar.
So, Keyshawn, I want to get your opinion on this. What do you think would be the right move for the Vikings to make here? Should they give the keys to J.J. even though he's unproven, or just keep rolling with Sam Darnold and maybe keep J.J. or try to ship him off somewhere while he still has some value?
I'd say keep Darnold and still let J.J. develop through. Okay. Kind of like the Kirk Cousins and Penix thing. Just keep him around until he's ready.
I'd say more of a Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love situation.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And like if he starts showing that he's ready in practice, then try to trade off Sam Darnold because he'll still be very valuable. That makes a lot of sense. I believe that's the best decision as well. But you also brought up another good point here. You brought up another interesting situation in the NFL, and that's the Kirk Cousins-Michael Penix situation. Now, the Falcons got a little more salary cap to play with this $20 million extension here. But there's still some decisions to be made.
We're still $4 million in negative cap.
Exactly.
I don't know how that's going to help us.
And here's the thing. This is what I'm getting to here.
All right.
They made Michael Penix Jr. the starting quarterback. But a lot of that money is being used up on that Kirk Cousins contract. The Falcons need to do something. Cutting him is the last option, in my opinion. I believe the Falcons should package Kirk Cousins up and send him off to one of these quarterback-hungry teams and get one of their best assets for him. Definitely. Maybe pair up next year's first-round pick or this year's second with Kirk Cousins and maybe another player like Kyle Pitts, who you haven't been getting your money's worth on. Send him to the Browns. in a package that includes Myles Garrett.
Definitely.
Maybe something like that. I feel like that would be one of the better options. Or if you're talking to the Raiders here, send Kirk Cousins over there. They're probably going to draft a quarterback in this year's draft class. Probably Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, one of those two guys. Maybe Jackson Dart if he moves up in the process. Add Kirk Cousins to a package to the Raiders to try to get a guy like Max Crosby.
Yep.
Ooh,
One way or another.
okay.
One way or another, I feel like the best option for the Falcons is to trade Kirk Cousins, a guy that's had a lot of success in this league, while he still has a decent amount of value to one of these teams that need a quarterback. The Browns, the Raiders. They're not looking for a long-term answer, but they need a bridge guy because they're all looking to draft and bring in young quarterbacks this cycle and get one of their pass rushers for them. If it's the Browns, package them to get Myles Garrett. If the Raiders, package them to get Max Crosby. But I just do not think cutting Kirk Cousins and wasting what could be a lot of trade value is the right option.
We would have $60 million in dead, plus $60 million in dead cap space if we cut him. If we trade him, it's 30, so that gives us another 30 to go spend.
Exactly. Trading them helps more than it hurts. I say go for it, at least try. Now, if there are no suitors, if nobody wants them, now if those two teams, one of them need them. Because the Browns are in quarterback hell right now, and the Raiders are in desperate need of at least a bridge guy. Because we all know they're drafting a guy, but they need a bridge. I feel like Kirk Cousins will be the perfect bridge for them. We'll see what happens, but that's all the time we got for NFL. Yes, dude, somebody's got to take him. Somebody's got to take him. But we'll see what happens. That's just what I would look to do. Well, we got some sports news to get into.
The Dodgers introducing Shohei Ohtani after signing him to a record-breaking contract.
Nick Saban is retiring.
Breaking news on Sports Pack. Once again, lots of sports news going on out there. First off, I want to touch on something that's kind of flown under the radar, especially with our women's basketball and in the SEC. So recently, Kevin Durant has come out and stated that he wants to bring a WNBA extension to Austin, Texas. His exact quote is, "It's a basketball city. Our women's coach now is one of the greatest. We got a great young talent in Madison Booker, which she's on the Texas team." And he continues to say, "I think this city is just prime for basketball, but especially women's basketball at the highest level." Now, when he said Madison Booker, I was like, okay, yeah, Texas. But then I go and I look at their record. They are 26-2.
Yep. Oh, dang.
That is an
That's really good.
insane record. So I would definitely be excited to see how the WNBA continues to expand, especially in the state of Texas, and also with this incredible Texas women's basketball team.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because watching the WNBA right now, they're really starting to hit their stride. With girls like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese joining the ranks, and they still have a lot of big-time players on their way through as well, like Juju Watkins, Paige Buckers. The list goes on. We have more and more big-time superstar-level talents making their way through the college ranks, pivoting over to the WNBA, bringing a lot more eyes to the game. The Atlanta Dream normally play in the College Park Skyhawk Stadium. When they bring the Indiana Fever to town, they play in the Atlanta Hawks Stadium. They play where the Atlanta Hawks play. So the game is growing. So why not grow with the game? As more eyes come to it, like Kevin Durant was saying, Austin's already a big-time basketball town. The Texas Longhorns team is killing it right out there in Austin right now. They had a big-time win against South Carolina about a week and a half or so ago. So why not, man? The more the game grows, the league should grow as well. More room for that big-time talent. I'm very interested and excited to see where the game goes.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of just looking at it here from this. There kind of been other talks and expansions of other cities, and it'd be about $200 million price tag to bring there. But heck, they can afford that in Texas. I think you keep it
bigger in Texas.
I'll put it this way: you keep it close to the University of Texas, where the stadium could be. I think that could really help and just keep attendance up very much over there. Because I know once things go crazy in Texas, everything goes crazy. So
for sure.
I definitely like what they're saying there and putting it over in Texas.
I think a big thing too that you mentioned is that if they keep it close to the university, like you're gonna have all these young college kids get on board with it and have the buy-in, and then it's a whole generation of like bringing in this new like, oh, we like the WNBA, like, which I think is super good for the game.
Well, I think it also just allows like the University of Texas and the WNBA to possibly do a partnership in some way, or they do something with the school at least. Yeah. So it brings a great opportunity there.
Yes, for sure. Moving on, the Four Nations Hockey Face-Off Championship is tonight at 8 p.m. USA versus Canada, the rematch from this tournament. There's been a lot going on about this. I mean, at the last USA-Canada game, there was just a lot of I think there was how many fights?
Three fights
in the first
9
seconds. And that's insane. Like, Canada fans booing the USA national anthem, like, all this drama. So, I mean, I bet both of these teams are coming in tonight with a fire under their eyes. And, I mean, I think the USA wants to establish that they are the hockey nation now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, they're really starting to prove it so far. I think they've beaten every single team in this tournament so far. Right now, the finale is against Canada, like you said. Mm-hmm. Tensions were very high in that first one. Canadian fans booing our national anthem, and then their players got whooped in the first 9 seconds of fights, and then got whooped in the game as well.
They don't know.
Look, they're too nice up there in Canada. They can't play with us. This is a big-time game. Huge for the sport of hockey and the sports world all around. Because watching ESPN and all sorts of other sports networks all week this week, the talk has been how much better hockey's culture is than the NBA's. That's why this All-Star game format, it's been crazy, bro. Like, there's been a lot of big-time debates on shows about it because they said hockey players are willing to put their bodies on the line. They give 100% night in and night out. They're talking about how a lot of these NBA stars aren't doing that, and that's why the ratings are dying. A lot of people have differing opinions on it. This is huge nonetheless. This Four Nations hockey, I don't know why I keep trying to say soccer here. This Four Nations hockey tournament has really done a lot for hockey, growing the game. It's really gotten me interested and all sorts of other people around the country, around the world. But it's also doing a lot in the sports world. It's also been turning a lot of heads in basketball circles as well, as they're thinking about bringing some sort of similar format to their game as well to try to grow it. But the main thing is player buy-in.
Yep.
The players bought into the nationalism side of this Four Nations tournament. Will the same thing happen in the NBA? Only time will tell.
Yeah, buy-in is so important, and I think the buy-in with just the hockey world right now is so much stronger than NBA. When you look at it from like a media standpoint and just kind of a bigger picture kind of standpoint too. But more breaking news within the NFL that just kind of broke. Cowboys player Zach Martin just announced that he is retiring. We can start with Richard.
Oh, man, that's big. I mean, it's big-time NFL news. One of the best tackles in the league, been one of the best offensive linemen in the league for a long time. But that sucks for Cowboys fans. Yeah. This is already a team that's devoid of a lot of talent. They've been struggling, man. They also are a team that really struggled to build their culture. New head coach coming in, a guy that nobody really expected. They hired from within. Jerry Jones has his hands on the wheel just about more than any other time in Cowboys history. This is a team that's just up in flux, man. People are talking about them maybe trading Micah Parsons. Now they're losing one of their best offensive linemen off from a unit that this past season already wasn't anything to write home about. Hey, man, Cowboys fans just got a lot sicker, man.
Just hurts.
Keyshawn, what you think, man?
I heard that they're in rebuild mode for some reason. I don't know, but yeah, Micah. I heard Michael might be out of there with a trade. Dak. I'm not a believer in Dak, bro. I'm not a believer in Dak, bro.
I just feel like he's so injury prone.
Yeah.
Well, and then even when he's healthy, he's kind of iffy. It's like, how great is Dak Prescott really?
And then you lose your best guard. The Golden Guard, as his nickname is, a 9-time Pro Bowler, arguably one of the best linemen in history of the NFL. You lose someone like that who is your main piece to your offensive line. Yeah, that's even worse. It's just a huge hole to fill right there.
Real quick, I mean, Keyshawn, you just said you heard they're in rebuild mode. So here's my thing. If I'm the Cowboys and I'm in rebuild mode, I'm going to blow this whole thing up right now.
Yeah, you got to
start. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm making 2 big trades right now. And no, CeeDee Lamb is not one of them.
Definitely not.
I'm sending Micah Parsons away.
Okay.
Because Micah Parsons is probably the best defensive lineman in the NFL. If you're in rebuild mode here.
Yeah.
True.
I'm sending Micah Parsons away. You're going to get a haul for him.
that package is going to be crazy.
Exactly. You're going to get multiple first-round picks, a few players going along with it. You're going to have what it takes to rebuild your team right there. But I'm not stopping there. Get a whole bunch of first-rounders, starting to look like the OKC Thunder here with all the draft picks you'll have. And then you also trade away Dak Prescott.
Thank you.
I am trading Dak Prescott.
Get rid of him.
And I'm sending him to a team like the Vegas Raiders, or better yet, the New York Giants. A team whose roster really isn't that terrible. They have Malik Neighbors at wide receiver. Tracy at running backs looking like he might be the future. Defense, it's hit or miss. But they need some few things. But that's a team. As a front office that in New York that I think is very confused. They don't really know what they want to do here. They need to commit to a rebuild, but they don't seem like they're too eager to do it. They would have drafted Jaden Daniels last year if that was the case. I trade Dak Prescott to a team like that. Get a few first round picks for him as well. And then now you're a Cowboys team that you lost your best defensive player and your quarterback. But now you have two massive contracts taken off your shoulders. Dak is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
He shouldn't be.
Whatever
He shouldn't
reason
be.
why.
I've never understood
He
it.
has done nothing.
Why is he the highest paid player in the league? None of
Jerry's
us know.
dementia.
But now, if you trade him along with Micah Parsons, you have a whole bunch of more money to play with, a bunch of first-round picks. You can use those picks either in the draft or use them in other trades to retool your entire roster. If I'm the Cowboys, Jerry Jones is stubborn as a mule, so I doubt he does it. But if I'm running that organization, those are the two moves I'm making right now to turn the whole ship around. Easy rebuild.
I ain't mad at it.
Easy rebuild.
This is why this is our possible GM right here. Simple as that.
I'm telling you,
I'll
man,
say it every time. I will live by it. This is a GM right here.
If some if some big guys in the NFL start watching these videos, they're gonna start hearing the things I'm saying. They're gonna be like, you know what? We need to find his email and DM him on Instagram. Do something. Get him in this office. We need to have a conversation about some kind of salary. I'll do it part time. I'll be a consultant.
Just a nice
for
little
the
paycheck
Falcons.
for you.
Yeah, I'll be a consultant for the Falcons GM. That's more gas money in my tank. Get to spend more money on clothes and all kind of stupid stuff I buy anyway. So why not? I'll take that extra bread. Why not? But sadly, that's all the time we got for Sports Pack tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back on Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks for everybody that came in today. We didn't have Schrader tonight, so I got Keyshawn tuned in.
Yes, sir.
Michael came in. Lim came in. So did Phillip. And we still kept some guys from the regular class, too. Carly regular cast. Carly was still here. John held it down on the board, as always. And I'm your host, Richard Reed, signing off. Thanks for all tuning in. We'll be back Monday, same time, same place. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network. Have a blessed